Parashat Vayechi, I think, sheds new light on the relationship between Yaakov and Yosef, and the state of affairs between these two has more tension and fear than one would like to admit. Right, we usually think of them as last week's Torah portion, the reunion of the father and his beloved son. However, at the outset of Vayechi, we have two very odd things that happen. Yaakov, as he's towards breathing his last breaths, there are two things he has to do. The first thing he has to do, we are told, is he calls Yosef and his two kids and says to Yosef, your two kids, Menashe and Ephraim, they're mine. Lihem. Now, this kind of seems like a Godfather, right? Who's sort of saying, I'm king, not you. Don't forget that. Now that's sort of what's going on here. Why does Yaakov need to be doing this, right? Because it's very harsh. He's literally saying, and when you think of the 12 tribes, by the way, Yosef is not one of the 12 tribes. There are Yaakov's sons, and then there are two of Yosef's sons, Menashe and Ephraim. And this starts here where he says, like a Godfather, they're mine. This isn't a father with his beloved son discussion. This is something else. Let's continue. Next, he then Yaakov makes Yosef swear to him, bury me in Israel. Now, I'm not going to get into the Kabbalistic meaning here underlying, but there are a lot of Kabbalistic meanings to this swearing process, which can literally mean Yaakov saying to Yosef, Yosef, I was you before you were you. And I'm not even going to take this, I'm not even going to try and psychoanalyze this, because, psychoanalysts would have a field trip with this verse. But of course, we're not going to put the Torah on the couch. It is she who puts us on the couch every single week. So in the outset of Vayechi, we have these two very odd, behaviors on the part of Yaakov to Yosef, which shed a completely different light, showing tension and fear and perhaps even anger. What is going on here? What has happened to the relationship? I think one way that I can understand this is that Yaakov does fear Yosef, and he has two problems. There is no doubt that Yosef, throughout his entire life, has been a God-fearing Jew, or God-fearing Hebrew, right? There is no doubt he's not an idolater. His relationship with God is a very good one. However, he has become Egyptian, and remember that second dream he had way back when? He still sees himself as king. And I think this is the first thing that Yaakov has to do to protect his sons, the rest of his sons. Now that we're in Egypt, in Yosef's land, he first has to say, no. I'm the boss. I'm the Godfather, not you. That's the first act. The second thing he has to do is say, never forget Israel. Wouldn't it be obvious that, when Yaakov says to Yosef, bury me in Israel, why does he have to make him swear? It's not like Avram and Eliezer, where Avram had to make Eliezer swear, go get me, a daughter for my son. It's clear because, Eliezer is not part of the family and he's perhaps even a bit malicious. But here, why does Yaakov need to make Yosef swear? Isn't it obvious that you need to bury me in Israel? No, it's not. Because he's perhaps more Egyptian. And these two forceful actions by the Godfather, kind of like King David towards the end of his days, which Yaakov is taking this role upon himself, I think are what caused Yosef to do tshuva. And it's a very powerful thing that happens, because if we read at the end of the Torah portion, after Yaakov dies, all of a sudden the brothers fear Yosef's reaction. They think they're going to be treated badly now, right? They speak to him in very fearsome language, and they're afraid. And Yosef's answer to them is, "You don't have to worry. Everything's okay." Why are they so fearful? They're fearful because they were not in that discussion at the beginning of the Torah portion between the Godfather Yaakov and his son saying, I'm king, your boys are mine, and you're going to bury me in Israel. Yosef, who's talking to the brothers now after Yaakov has died, is a different Yosef. This is a Yosef that understands that he is not king, Pharaoh is not king, but Yaakov is king because Hashem chose him. And the second thing he realizes is that Israel matters. Israel is the heart of being a Hebrew. And that is why at the end of the Torah portion, he tells Ephraim and Menashe, swear to me, you're going to bury me as well in Israel. The turnaround of Yaakov, the Godfather, to Yosef, revealing a new kind of tension relationship between the two. Thoughts on Parashat Vayechi. Shabbat Shalom.